Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar, and I'm with you with the specific area of ABFM, that is Advanced Business and Financial Management. And now, as you know, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. All sorted. Chaliye. As you already know, I've started with the specific area of dealing one concept today. That is, today I'll be also talking with another concept. First of all, please share the session, like the session, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. Okay, everyone. Sorry. We had started with module B, so we are going on with module B further. We're talking about sources of finance, and the sources of finance concept of the day yesterday was mezzanine financing. Mezzanine financing means that financing in which till the time you don't make a wrong decision, it's all going fine. But the day you make a wrong decision, matlab you make a default in your payments, then your equity turns into debt. Here comes the first question, everyone. Long-term loans compared to dividend payouts on equity can be. See, in this case, we're gonna today I'm going to talk about term loans, debentures, and private equity as well. So stay tuned and keep on sharing the session, everyone. Okay, go ahead and answer, everyone. Long-term loans compared to dividend payouts on equity can be more expensive due to fixed interest, less expensive, the same cost, or depend on the company credit rating. See, if you earn more, you have to pay more dividend. That's one specific rule of dividend, you know. Under the area of dividends, so that's one specific, very clear rule. That if the company earns more, no matter because of what reason. Okay? But you have to pay. Anji, what's going to be the answer? Is it more expensive or less expensive? वैसे तो the truth is it is less expensive because of tax deductibility. Less tax means less amount to be paid. Chale, let's move on. Acha, we have done this part as well. Preference shares. Preference shares were what? Everyone? Equity and preference shares have a very major difference, pata hai. Equity shareholders are very different. In terms of equity shares, you get voting rights, you get the right to have dividend, but when the company is dying, you don't get the leftover even. Why? Because everybody else would be taking it up and then you are left. That's one specific truth, huh? You get money only once everybody else has paid off. So in this case, one reality of equity shareholding is that equity shares are the people who are getting equity shareholders are the residual owners of the organization. Whatever is left, everything goes to them. If it's this much, they get it. If it is this much, even then they get it. Or if this is nothing, if they face a loss, there's a loss. So then one particular thing that defines equity and preferences is only. Preference shareholders are the ones who are screaming in advance, "Dekhiye, dividend is there, please give us first." Then secondly, then they say, "Acha, the company is dying, please give us the money first." And then do whatever you want to. That's one particular scenario regarding them. Which factor is not mentioned as a potential hindrance to the companies with medium to heavy borrowings? Lower credit rating, increased borrowing costs, reduced flexibility in decision making, or higher profitability. Which factor is not mentioned as a potential hindrance? Medium to heavy borrowings. If you have too much of borrowings, then you will die out of the interest and principal thing. That's one particular thing that I know. Medium to heavy borrowings is good only if the company is already earning a lot of money. So they would be like, take an even if we have taken loan, we can definitely pay it off. If we can pay it off, it's better. So then one particular thing which can really help them is having good money. If you have good money, you can pay off good money. So in this case, the answer is going to be higher profitability. Right? That's answer D. Which of the following is not listed as an advantage of long-term loan? Acha, protection of the borrower's interest. They protect their interest by putting a mortgage, collateral. Potential for future valuation multiplication. Yeah, if you take loans, this is definitely beneficial. Higher cost compared to equity. No, this is actually wrong. Tax deductibility and interest. Tax deductibility is one of the major reasons that people opt for loans and all. But there's one particular thing that is never a higher cost. It seems like debt has a higher cost, but equity has a major cost. They're the true owners of the organization. So obviously, whenever you make even a single penny, they're gonna be after your life. Okay? So that is higher cost compared to equity capital. Next. Acha, everyone download the app right away if you're looking forward towards our previous questions, because all the previous year questions are available on our website. So what you need to do is you can get our app. You can get 1% extra discount on our courses even by downloading the app, and all the previous year questions can be downloaded through this particular app itself. What you need to do is, under the specific class, whatever I'm taking, there's a link below. Look forward towards important questions for CIIB. You can download any PDF. The PDFs are there for different classes, then different topics that we had been covering up in our classes. So the questions are all available for you, right? So please go ahead and check it out. Acha. When are trustees required to appoint for debenture holders? The company has taken a debenture from the people. Okay, now if I've taken a debenture, obviously I was in need of money, so I went for this. But why is there a need for trustee? I would have taken a lot of money, so they decides ki, theek hai, if you have taken a lot of money from the government na, then what you can do is that from the general public, sorry, because this is nothing but general public's money. So you've taken a lot of money from the general public, then what you need to do is you have to look forward towards a specific area of debentures are issued to more than 1,100%, then more than 500%, if debentures are issued to institutional investors, or if debentures are issued for a tenure longer than 10 years. When we talk about trustees are basically the people who will be sitting and viewing whether the company is using the money of the organization. If I am the debenture holder, I have given money to you. If I've given a lot of money, even I would like to be assured that you are using the money in the right way, not in the wrong way. Right? When I'm looking forward to that kind of thing, then this is the specific area where we say that this is if the debentures are issued to more than 500%. Okay? What distinguishes debentures from loans in terms of repayment? Debentures are repaid in installments while loans are repaid in fixed. Everyone, what's going to be the answer according to you? The debentures have no fixed repayment date, or loans have no fixed repayment date? What's going to be the answer? When we talk about this specific area, what distinguishes debentures from loans? Debentures are basically somewhat different. Loans are basically the money that we take from one particular person, banks and all, while debentures are basically taken from different people altogether. And normally the debentures are never redeemed in installments. There's no EMI. You either decide in prior when you're issuing a debenture only, then only the payment part is decided. If I'll make the payment in 4 different years, that is also there, but there is no monthly payment. There are no installments like that of loans there. So that's one particular reality. Debentures are repaid on a fixed date and the loans are repaid in installments. Everyone, what is the main difference between call option and put option? A very important question. Okay, go ahead everyone. I hope the question is clearly visible to you now. A call option or to the issuer to demand redemption, while the put option allows the investor to demand redemption. Acha. Right to call and right to put. Acha. Now when we talk about this area, right to call is for the company, right to put is for the investor actually. A call option all allow investors to demand redemption, while put option to demand issuer redemption. Acha. A call option allows the issuer to extend the maturity date. There's nothing point of maturity date there though. While a put option talks about maturity date again this C part is extremely wrong, so I'm eliminating it altogether. A call option allows the issuer to convert debentures into equity, while a put option allows the investor to convert equity into debentures. Everyone, what's going to be the answer according to you? The answer is a call option gives the issuer the demand to demand redemption. If the company makes a lot of money, it will say, "Arey, everyone, we have got money. Can we pay you right now?" And while put option allows the investor to demand redemption. Company issues a debenture with a call option of 5 years and maturity date is 10 years. Everyone, what will you call this one? An interesting question for sure. A company issues a debenture with a call option. Putable debenture, redeemable debenture, callable or perpetual debenture with a call option. What's going to be the answer? When the company can ask the people that we would like to pay you off. In this case, that would be callable debenture. We have just talked about it. Done? चलिए जी. That's a callable debenture. A debenture is secured by a second charge on the company's assets. People do. What does this employ? Debenture holders have highest claim on the company's assets in case of liquidation. Debenture holders have a high claim on company's assets after other secured debentures. Debentures is unsecured and carries no claims. Second charge only applies to specific asset, not all assets. Actually, these are secondary creditors. First and second, when we talk about the second partner, second is where you are accepting it, okay, please pay the other people and then I'll be paid off. That means they are fine with it. Done, everyone? So in this case, what's going to be the answer? In this case, the correct answer is going to be B. Debentures have a claim after other secured creditors. मतलब you are fine if other people are paid off before you. Okay, everyone. Next point. What are some of the challenges faced by the bearer debentures? Everyone, what are the challenges which they face? They are more expensive to administrators. They are susceptible to theft or loss. They facilitate money laundering and illegal activities, or all of the above. Actually, bearer debentures are the ones which are practically not used a lot. Now, to definitely not. There's a specific reason behind it. These are just like money. If you are having it, it's yours. If I get it, it's mine. So, bearer debentures are not treated as something which is very safe. So, they're normally avoided. So when we talk about this specific area, they are more expensive to administer for the company. They are indeed. You can't track people down. Then is they are susceptible to losses and theft. Again, if anybody else take that debenture certificate, you have lost that point. They facilitate money laundering. Indeed, if I'm having a Benami property, I just buy a bearer debenture. Nobody knows my name because the company doesn't know my name. So in this case, it is all of the above. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, everyone, now comes the concept of the day. Okay, visible clearly? We're talking about debentures. Debentures are what exactly? Debentures are basically debt instruments of an organization. How do we define these debt instruments? They have advantages, they have disadvantages. Advantages of debentures is a debt instrument. Matlab, if I can take a loan from the bank, then why not from the general public? If I can issue them equity, then why don't I raise a debt from them? Isn't it much cooler? So I can cry in front of them and say ki hi, I'm paying interest, hi, I'm paying interest. So tax deductibility is one of the major things that makes it different. Now, benefit of tax shield. Chapter source of finance. Now this is one of the best source of finance. No dilution of control. Obviously, you're not giving your control to anybody else. That is one particular thing. Then comes benefit of financial leverage. Then comes disciplinary effect. They have a disciplinary effect. Okay? Because ultimately you are paying every single time without making a mess. Then definitely this is something which is better. What's it? Next point is low cost, low issue cost. Everyone, when we talk about this specific issue, the next part is low issue cost. Then is fixed installment. They have their installments already defined. They have a very less issue cost, and no harm is in communicating critical business secrets. The critical business secrets can be definitely kept inside because you don't want many people there. है ना? Everyone. But there are disadvantages as well. One of the major problems is rigid obligation. You have to pay no matter what. Enlarges the leverage ratio. You have taken more debts. More debts means more obligation and more financial risk. है ना? Restrictive covenants in terms of the REITs. You cannot use this. You cannot do this. Once the debenture trustee is sitting, he will definitely tell you. Everyone. Next part is bad for low inflation. Inflationary condition. Now, when we talk about this specific area, bad for low inflationary condition. Basically, if there's already a lot of inflation, then the interest rates are already high. Then if you go for debts, then I think this is way bad. Don't you think? So that's one particular thing that is going to make the company more challenging. Why are we taking loans? So debentures can be of the following types. It can be based upon security. Matlab there can be a security for it, and there can be a specific issue of matlab if your company is good enough, then there is no requirement of additional security. You can just take a loan and do not provide any security further. That's unsecured. On the basis of transfer. Registered means where the name of the person is written. When no name is written, is called bearer debentures. on the basis of repayment. वैसे तो in our country every debenture, if you take a loan you have to pay it off, it is redeemable. If you do not pay, it is irredeemable. On the basis of conversion, convertible means a debenture which can be converted into equity at the option of the shareholder, sorry, debenture holder. And the second part is non-convertible debenture which cannot be converted. Done? Chaliye. That's it for the day, everyone. I hope this particular session was useful. But before I end my session, have you taken up our courses yet? And if you haven't, then hurry up, because it is very, very important that you take up our courses as early as possible. So what do you need to do for that particular area? Let's understand, everyone. Go to the website www.adda247.com. We're done with sources of finance. So I'm starting with financial and operating leverages. This is module B, unit number 8. First of all, everyone, please share the session, like the session, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. Everyone, what is it that we are going to talk about today? Leverage is what? Everybody wants growth. Now, if you want growth, how do you look forward towards growth, everyone? Growth plays a very important role, isn't it? But how do you grow? Either you expand your current business by bringing up the scales of operations, or the current operations are to be maintained in the best possible way. There can be only two things, na? Hai na? There is no third thing. Or you can have the combination of both. Okay, na? Let's improve the current operations, increase the scale, as well as we just look forward to it. But one point is there. If I want to improve my current situation as well as I want to grow further side by side, both the things can be done. That is true. But always remember, it cannot be done with my own work. Can I say this to you, Kineni? This can be done only by myself. Sometimes I have to take money from others as well. Na? That is what we define as leverage, when we take money from debt forms. Okay? And it plays an important role, everyone. It is super important. Chaliye. Now, based upon this, let's start with the topic. What is the primary goals of equity shareholders? To reduce the debt, to enhance the return on investments. And the second part is then when they talk about to increase the number of shares. And the last one is to lower the company's assets. Everyone? The primary goal of the equity shareholders is to increase the returns. Matlab, profit maximization is basic thing. Profit maximization and wealth maximization. In this case, it's the wealth maximization. That is to increase the wealth of the organization. Okay, if the shareholders are happy, ultimately everybody would be happy, na? Isn't it? To enhance return on investment, that is to increase the wealth. Acha, everyone, based upon this, what measure is used to determine the return on equity in terms of investments? Equity shareholders investment, debt to equity ratio. It's the relationship between debt and equity. Debt is the money that is taken from others, and equity is the money that is my own money. Hai na? Done, everyone? Everyone? It is debt to equity ratio talks about debt and equity. Return on investment is the money that you have given to the organization. है ना? Next is earning per share. Earning per share is basically the earnings that the organization is making per share. How do we work upon this? Acha everyone, I got a cake of 2 kgs and we are 4 people eating. That means per person we are getting 500 grams. That is a part of your earning per share. Total earnings of the organization divided by total number of shareholders. GP margin is based upon production, so that's not the point. This is the correct answer is earning per share. Okay? Okay, starting with the first point, that is financial leverage. There are two kinds of leverages. Either you expand yourself, either you work upon your current thing. Financial leverage is to expand yourself. Increasing the equity to enhance the EPS. If you take more equity, then that means the number of people who are sharing are increasing. Then obviously the per unit is decreasing. है ना? Borrowing funds to reduce overall cost. Yeah, you can borrow funds, but what kind of costs are you declining? Used borrowed funds to enhance the return on equity. Or selling assets to improve financial stability. If I really want to increase my business, the best way to increase my business is to sometimes borrow the funds. Sometimes my own money is not enough. I need money from others. So I'll take the money from others. In this case, it is using borrowed funds to enhance return on equities investments. है ना? What assumption is made using financial leverage? Okay, continuing further. Financial leverages is what? Financial leverage is basically when you're trying to increase your business. When you're trying to increase your business, how can you increase? The best way is ask other people to help you out. Let them pay for you. When you have equity, it's better to go for debts. Because more equity means losing your decision making process, which is not good. You really need people to help you out in terms of the decision making, and but if n number of people are there, it's very dangerous. है ना? So the cost of borrowed funds is less than that of equity. Obviously, if you have to buy something, these people are outsiders ultimately. They will not create a problem. What will create a problem is when you have more equity shareholders. That's a reality. So the borrowed funds do not affect the business value. They do. I say they do not. If you borrow too much, then it can lead to liquidity of the organization altogether as well. That's another reality. Equity shareholders prefer lower EPS. How would someone say it's fine if you give me lower money? Everybody's going to talk about it. Ki, Hanji, when are you increasing my money? Isn't it, everyone? So the concept of D point is just not correct. Acha, so this is about what are the assumptions. It is basically we strongly believe that if we take more debts, we can be in a better situation rather than going for more equity. So going for more equity means more burden. Acha, what does the financial leverage primarily aim to enhance? EBIT, total assets, return on equity, or debt to equity. Acha, operating profit is not something it will increase. This is profit maximization. When you talk about financial leverage, they are focusing on equity by going on debt. Matlab, weirdest thing is you are choosing debt to get more equity because you don't want them to invest more. More investment from their side means they want more dividend, which is dangerous, right? Because if they want more returns, their returns has no limit. Whatever the company earns, they are supposed to give it. What say? So in this case, what's gonna be the correct answer? It's gonna be return on equity. Done. What is the degree of financial leverage? The EBIT to interest expense, the ratio of EPS and EBIT, the ratio of total asset debt to total equity, Or next is total assets to total liabilities. What's going to be our answer, everyone? The degree of financial leverage. What's the degree of financial leverage? It is EBIT upon EBT. That is ratio of, if we're talking about one of this is actually percentage change in whatever earning per share is changing right now. Matlab what part of equity is changing and what part of percentage change in EBIT we have brought. Done, everyone? Acha, chaliye. Now let's look at the next point. Why should the cautious approach be adopted for financial leverage in large projects? Cautious approach is required in any case, everyone. You cannot just blindside the fact that we can just take loans and forget about it. Large projects are always, they generate lower returns, not really necessary. Risks are very high and optimal leverage can above optimal leverage can prove to be disastrous. It can be true. Large projects do not benefit. Why do you take the large projects? To have more money. So that's wrong. This one is definitely not the point. Then equity shareholders will prefer lower risk. They are ready to take risk. That's why they go for equity. So that means C and D is out of it. Large projects always is not the point. Sometimes they do because you're doing it for the first time, or sometimes the large projects they just look larger. The returns might be smaller. Risks are very high, and the problem is if I go more in terms of the loans, the basic problem that will happen is my loans, if way above the limit, will affect me only, because how will I pay it off if I take too much of loan? So risks are very high and above the optimal level. Acha, next point. In context of operating leverage, what does the high fixed cost and low variable cost imply? High fixed cost means too much of pressure, because we have to pay no matter what we have. These people have to be paid. While when we talk about variable cost, in terms of the variable costs, we are a little better in this case. है ना? How are we better, everyone? In terms of fixed cost, lower fixed cost means better valuation, है ना? Because you have to pay less fixed, and if you increase or decrease your operations, your variable costing can adjust your profits accordingly. The business is profitable regardless of the sales volume. nahi. High fixed cost is basically less sensitive to changes. nahi. Highly sensitive to changes or low contribution margins. One of the basic problems I face is that they are highly sensitive to changes in sales. You make changes and they would be very much scared about this fact, है ना? Isn't it? How is the contribution margin defined? Everyone? How is contribution defined? Contribution is basically sales price and fixed cost? nahi. Variable and fixed? nahi. Sales price and purchase price, or sales and interest expense? It is sales minus variable cost. So in this case, it is sales and purchase price. Purchase price varies, na? That's why. Which cost is included in the fixed cost for combined leverage? Variable cost only, operating fixed cost, fixed financial fixed cost only, or both operating cost as well as the financial fixed cost? Fixed cost is basically the money that we are supposed to pay, and it can be related to my business, it can be based upon my loans that I've taken, or even the basic money that we are supposed to keep. Everyone? It includes both. What is the degree of total leverage? Total leverage or combined leverage, everyone? What is the degree of it? DTL is equal to change in sales divided by change in EBT. EBT upon sales, EBIT upon EBT, or contrary upon sales. What's going to be the answer? The correct answer is B, EBT upon sales. ठीक है? चलिए, everyone subscribe to our channel right away. It is super duper important that you subscribe to the channel in time, because again everyone, it is super important that you stay updated, and to stay updated, this is what you need to get our courses right away. You should definitely keep an eye on our YouTube channel, because even if you're a paid banker, we have taken our paid classes, I would still suggest that YouTube classes are equally important, right? Achha everyone, how can the degree of total leverage be expressed in terms of financial leverage and operating leverage? How can we define it, everyone? DTL is equal to DFL plus DOL, financial and operating leverage. It is basically DTL is equal to DFL minus DOL, multiplication and division. In this case, we use multiplication. Financial leverage into DOL. Everyone, please be there in the session. I am going to discuss an important thing, that is the concept of the day. What is the formula for DTL, everyone? DTL is equal to contrary upon EBIT. Indicates the relationship between total revenue and net profit. And the second point is relationship between contrary margin and EBT, relationship between operating cost and sales. And the last one is relationship between fixed cost and variable cost. It is basically the contribution between margin and earnings before tax. Matlab how much money we have as interest and how much money do we have before we pay the tax. All these things are super important now. Concept of the day time. Everyone, share the session, like the session, and let's talk about the concept of the day. What's the concept of the day? The concept of the day is leverage. Operating leverage into financial leverage. What's the formula? Combined leverage is created out of both of these. Matlab you learn, first is leverage there. Okay, operating and financial. This is percentage, this is EBIT upon sales, and this is EPS upon EBIT. EBIT and EBIT can be cut, so we're left with percentage change in EPS upon percentage change in sales. That is how we define it. So if you look at this specific area, we have two kinds of financial leverage and operating leverage. Financial leverage is based upon going for more debt, and this is for fixed expense, which will help our business to grow further. But this is for regular working. This is to increase your scale. Higher the debt, higher will be the financial leverage. Higher the fixed expense, higher is the operating leverage. Obviously there's too much pressure now if you have to pay a fixed amount in any case. In the worst situation, in the best situation, if you have to pay no matter what, that's definitely scary. What do you think? Then pros is higher operating leverage, means you have got good money because of this work. I think profits will definitely increase, but at the same time, the weirdest thing is this will put a lot of pressure. There's a risk of bankruptcy. Higher financial leverage means the shareholders will be really happy. They will get good amount of money. But obviously, your break-even point is higher. No profit, no loss situation will not come that easily because you have additional cost to bear. Right? That's the concept of the day, everyone. I hope this particular part was important to you because this has been asked in the examination earlier as well. So I would say you should definitely do it properly. And acha everyone, one more thing, have you thought of looking forward towards our courses? If you haven't, then hurry up and please review our courses as early as possible. Because if you're not reviewing it yet, then when will you do that? Because the time is ticking away, the examination is approaching. After the JIB examinations, it would be your examination that would be hitting next. So it's important that when you're going for the examination, you're doing your best.